Shelley Hamilton releases a brand new song that's incredibly poignant right now as we deal with COVID-19 and deal with a tragedy in Nova Scotia. Shelley's originally from Nova Scotia. You'll hear it, and we'll talk to Shelley coming up on Rock History Canada. I first met Shelley Hamilton when I was doing jazz, and she was one of those artists that we just loved. But Shelley Hamilton can do a lot of different things. She's one of those singers that you can put in any given situation and she'll knock it out of the park. But she has a brand new song that was recorded just before the quarantine started happening with her band, Shelley Hamilton and Blood Harmony. They just thought, let's record the tune, and you're going to hear it in this clip. It's a tune for charity, by the way, for the Lifeline for Canadian Entertainment Industry, afchelps.ca. We'll have all the links in the description of this video where you can pick up the song and make a donation. It's an important song at an important time. Here's our conversation with the great Shelley Hamilton. Hey, I love this song.
Oh, John, thank you so much.
When was it recorded live? When did you guys do it?
So here's a crazy story about it. So over the last year and a half, 2 years, I went through this whole thing with my music career, and I went out of jazz and soul and got into more of my roots, which is Nova Scotia, country music, grew up with it all the time. But when I tried to pursue it when I was, in my 20s and early 30s, I was doing demos for people doing country music and that all the time, but no one would hire me because you don't see me in the industry. And I swore that someday I would finally be brave enough to pursue that music, even though I don't see it in the industry. So I started doing it over the last couple of years, got a band, started doing new writing, new music, everything. It's all been a whirlwind. But then over that, as everything started to happen, I started getting a new band and stuff like that. The person I was working with a year and a half ago, we had a falling out. So I revamped and started everything all over again with a new band in the fall last year and branded country soul and just went, you know what? It's going to be a hard haul getting recognized in an industry when I keep saying to everybody, don't you think all I've wanted my whole life with all the work I've done, all the awards and all the things I've done in the industry over the years, I've always wanted a seat at the country soul table, but there's never been one in Canada. So how can I have a seat when there will never be one that acknowledges me at it, right? So I went, I've got to create my own seat. So I just kept telling everybody, I'm the unicorn. No one else is a unicorn. And when I found these guys that started working with me, they started working with me on the same premise that we've never seen Black women doing country music in Canada and claiming that you do country music. Heck, I'd love to be on board with you. So I started working again with the songwriter I worked with years ago, and I did all his country demos for him. And he sent me this new music, and one of them was Stay Strong. And I said to the guys in the band, I said, look, we're doing some great new music, but Rick has sent me some tunes. Why don't we see if we can work it together to do it for our shows in March? And they said, great, let's do it. We're doing it at the Linsmore. I said, let's see if we can have it ready for the Linsmore. So hardly had time for a rehearsal. My other guitar player was flying in from Montreal. He rehearsed on the stage that night. So we never even had a chance to rehearse a lot of these songs. And I said, you know what, you guys, I have a feeling we're not going to get a chance to do any more music for a while. And I don't know if we're going to have our gig at the end of the month. I said, let's just blow doors, do everything in the second set and do all that original music and have a great time doing it. And it was beautiful. And the weird thing was all the stuff was recorded. I didn't remember that my bass player had set up a camera to record stuff. And out of all the songs, the only song that actually came through with the recording quality was Stay Strong, which was weird. And so, 2 weeks later, we're into COVID, we're hunkered down at home, and the bass player sends the video and goes, hey, you guys, here's the video from the gig at the Linsmore. I'm so glad we had this. And I went, holy crap, I forgot we had a video of the night. So the drummer, who also works in graphic design, started going through the songs, and he just went, I think this is really powerful. I think if we could get it out here, this would be a great song. So over the last month, I had been working on it, and I was going to release it 2 weeks ago. But there was something about the timing of it that just didn't seem right. And then Nova Scotia happened. And I went, that's why. It said something else was going to hit us even harder. How can we even try to keep ourselves up dealing with being so isolated and now dealing with the trauma of a tragedy like this and we can't come together. You know what Maritimers are like. Maritimers would be at a stranger's house, knocking on the door next door, even would never talked to them before going, because we all would feel that. We'd be sitting there, we'd be breaking bread, we'd be hanging out with each other, we'd be having prayer circles late at night, we'd be going into Preston and Muscadabbit and Cole Harbor, where Officer Heidi worked and did work in that community with black and white community service leaders alike. We'd be sitting in all those halls and community centers, hugging each other and giving each other love. And instead, we've got to mourn from a distance. My heart is broken for our East Coast brothers and sisters. And I said, what can I do? And if I can put my money from this towards something that will just help other people, I said, that's better than just putting a song out.
So what do people do? What do people do? Where do they get the song? We're going to put a link on the bottom of this video. Any links you send me, we'll put them on there. But we want to get people to listen to it and to buy it, obviously. And it's an anthem, man. It's an anthem. It's a much needed anthem.
It's an anthem, and it's so needed. And I'm so grateful that I had that last night at the Linsmore to have that song be done at such an iconic bar in the city. And for people to be sitting there and feeling that too, it just was like a microcosm of what the world was going to be feeling in the next week. Our lives literally changed within a month, John. Yeah. And we are feeling it more and more as each day goes along. And I know as Canadians, we feel like, what can we do? And we feel like every day we're getting up and we've got to take a breath to handle how difficult this is going to be.
Isn't she a delight? I just love Shelley. I've known her for quite a few years. And as I said off the top, you can put her anywhere as a vocalist and she'll get it done. We'll have her back on the channel when she records some new material with the band. Make sure you comment on our videos, subscribe to our channel, and share our videos on social media. It would mean a lot to us. You can also buy a t-shirt in the description of this video for Rock History Canada, our big channel Rock History Music, or Rock History Book. I'm John Beaudin.